Welcome back. I'm Wavepunk, and this is day 123 of producing for a year. We're producing in a park today. I figured I'd take it on the road. It's a laptop. Let's see how this feels, producing somewhere that is not inside a building, which is something I haven't really done before. Pros and cons. The weather is fantastic. The environment is pretty sick, but the wind noise and traffic does make mixing even on these closed headphones a little bit difficult out here. So maybe save producing in a park in the future for episodes where I'm just coming up with ideas, not trying to get specific sound levels right. Today we are in the character select track. I said I wanted to kind of go back and do a once-over on its mix, see if there was anything I could tighten up with the stuff I have learned about mixing in the last, I think almost 100 days since I worked on this track. The thing I was most optimistic about was carving out space in the low end for our kick to come through. The track when we came in today, I'll play it for you here, kind of unchanged. You'll hear the low end. It has this nice kick, this nice kind of chiptune sound. I think those drums by themselves in isolation are pretty tight, but when you put them into the full mix, that kick does start to get lost. I think the biggest culprit here is actually the bass instrument itself. It's very kind of wobby down there. I was optimistic that maybe there was going to be space in the low end that I had left in instruments that didn't need it, in the synths and in the melodies and stuff that I could carve out, give a little bit more room to play with. Was disappointed to find out that I had already done exactly that. I had already carved out. I actually have the low cut come in when the drums come in on instruments like this one here, where it starts and you can kind of hear some low end there, and then it takes that out, becomes a little bit thinner once we're in a space where you wouldn't be able to benefit from that low end. Same thing with this arpeggio down here. The melody, I believe we leave it in, so this might be a spot I could try and carve this out here. Actually, let's do that real fast. I didn't realize I was missing it here in the lead. Okay, so before, if we turn these back off, this is what it sounds like. And if we add it back in, it honestly, this instrument, you turn this off and just look at it. Yeah, there's a little bit of like the transient that lives in that low end, but the actual sustained pitch, not at all. So honestly, that effect I don't think is really going to change much at all, kind of carving out space in those leads. So I already had the low end better taken care of than I thought I did. I didn't want to mess with the bass too much. It's not great, but it's a pretty substantial effort, I think, to try and like rework that bass, especially in the environment I'm in right now. Why'd you just vibrate at me? Check 1, 2. All right, you're working just fine. So the only other thing I really thought to do was to actually add like an extra transient layer to the kick, just to give that initial edge of the sound a little bit more punch to it. So I'll play it without the transient and then with, and then you tell me if you hear it here as I kind of mute and unmute it. I feel like that makes a pretty substantial difference there. I'm interested to hear what it'll sound like once I don't have wind noise in my face. This edge is provided by that little bit flip situation VST we discovered yesterday and explored yesterday with its kick drum sample here. Just I took a pretty healthy cut out of its low end because I think we're looking for the kind of punch of the drum to come through. I want to add some brightness so it's clear where the drum's starting. It's not really about the wub, it's about the body of the kick that's missing. I feel like it's the edge that's missing, so we carved out a lot of the low end there. Weirdly, I felt like that edge actually worked really well as a kind of rhythmic texture in the B section here, where it's almost more functioning like a tom in that area. So I know that was kind of a nice little just addition to this section. Oh, I turned off. I notice it's gone. So it's kind of a nice little thing there. And then we have that again here at the end. That's all I really did today was figure out, kind of build that kick transient, put it in, decide that I like it. We'll render it out and see if I like the full mix. But in general, for mixing today, which is the thing I decided I wanted to do today, this wasn't the best environment for it. And maybe I'll do a little bit more of this when I get back home. But yeah, it was fun to set up the camera, do a little bit of work, use some of the fun technology tools I've bought, and makes a better piece of content here than me to sit in my office again. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.